Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Wrestling Wednesday. This week, in honor of the upcoming SummerSlam pay-per-view, I'm coming down with my SummerSlam predictions, which are going to be, as to the best of my ability, given that I don't quite know if this is going to be the final card. I feel like you got a whole bunch of people that are missing from action, but here's what has been established so far. So here are my predictions for SummerSlam 2017. I'll run through the Raw matches first and then the SmackDown matches after that. Definitely a lot of changes as a result of kind of the weird things that happened on Raw and SmackDown this week. So here we go. Up first, I have the Big Cass versus Big Show match with Enzo Amore in a shark cage. Ultimately, they had basically made a big deal about breaking the Big Show's hand this last week, so I think that's basically just setting up a Big Cass win, but the Big Show kind of saves some face because he's injured. He got taken out. And then you also have Enzo Amore hanging in a shark cage for some reason, because apparently that is the weirdest hazing punishment ever if you're pissing people off in the WWE locker rooms. So my ultimate prediction, Big Cass wins, and then hopefully we stop dealing with this one, because this is kind of a boring feud. Up next, Akira Tozawa versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. So when Tozawa beat Neville for the championship on Monday, I figured that sudden booking meant that they were bumping this match from the card for time, but it still seems to be out there, so I feel like it doesn't make too much sense to take the title off Neville and give it to him less than a week later, but they've done stupider things with the U.S. Championship recently, so who knows. Ultimately, my gut, though, here is leading to Titus O'Neil interfering in some way and Tozawa retaining. So my prediction here is Tozawa retains the championship, but he might not do it, like, on the up and up. He might lose via DQ, but still retain. Up next, I have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, and between making a big deal about Balor bringing back his demon persona for this match, as well as it being like the 1-year anniversary of his Universal Championship win before he had to relinquish it and go into rehab for his injuries, I think Balor takes this. I think he's a pretty safe bet, so yeah, my prediction is Balor wins, the Demon King reclaims his throne or whatever. For the WWE Raw Women's Championship between Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks, originally, when this was going to be Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, I would have assumed this was going to be kind of the start of her road to redemption after kind of how badly they booked her earlier in the year. But with her benched on an injury, Creative had to scramble, and they, as much as I would have liked to see them throw Nia Jax in there and start giving Nia Jax kind of this dominant title reign or something, they put Sasha Banks instead, which makes sense. I mean, I feel like they've still kind of been pushing her as like an envoy to the non-wrestling world by having her attend, things like the Teen Choice Awards or whatever. So ultimately, I think she'll walk away with it. I think they'll put the belt on her and give kind of her a feud between Bliss and Nia Jax until maybe Bayley recovers, and then they maybe set something up there for friend versus friend or something down the line. So yeah, here I have Sasha Banks winning the Raw Women's Championship. Up next, the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships between Sheamus and Cesaro and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I feel like the Shield reunion would have been a whole lot of setup for nothing if they don't walk out of here with the SummerSlam champs, so my prediction is a simple Shield win. And then lastly, on the Raw side of things, we have the Fatal 4-Way between Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman for the WWE Universal Championship. And as much as I want them to put the belt on Joe and let him have some fun as a fighting champ, I feel like Lesnar still probably has too much time on his contract to really follow through with the "if I lose, I'm leaving" shtick. So I think Lesnar's going to retain, much to my chagrin, and then, be back for 2 or 3 more appearances between now and WrestleMania, because fucking WWE. So those are my thoughts on the Raw matches. Now let's move into the SmackDown realm. Up first, I have Rusev versus Randy Orton, which apart from the Big Cass Big Show match, is probably the thing I care least about on this card. In large part because I feel like the booking and the build-up to it has been pretty much non-existent. So, based pretty much only on the whole theories of 50-50 booking and reverse momentum, I think because Rusev took an RKO on Tuesday, I think he walks out of here the winner on Sunday, for whatever that's worth. So my prediction, Rusev wins. Up next, we come to the biggest change I've had in predictions in the last week, probably. We have Baron Corbin versus John Cena. Originally, I would have predicted a loss for Corbin here because I would think he would cash in his belt after, say, Jinder beats Nakamura in the main event. But because they gave him this weird failed cash-in attempt on Tuesday, I feel like he has to win here, right? Because otherwise he's just a huge joke and can't even show his face really anymore. So my theory is that he's going to be so enraged that Cena cost him his title shot that he's just going to beat the hell out of Cena. Maybe put Cena out of commission, which gives you the ability to write Cena off television for a little while so he can go and film the Transformers Bumblebee movie, even though they made a big deal about him, coming back as a free agent and being able to go anywhere. I feel like unless you're completely burying Corbin, which they certainly could be doing, I feel like they have to give him something strong here to bounce back from the being the laughingstock of one of the guys who's now cashed in and lost his Money in the Bank cash-in opportunity. So yeah, my prediction here is that Corbin wins and maybe puts Cena out of commission because if you lose your Money in the Bank opportunity and the immediate follow-up SummerSlam opportunity, I feel like that's really hard to bounce back from. So I feel like he's got to start bouncing back now. Up next, we have Naomi versus Natalya for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. And with the men's Money in the Bank cash-in off the table, I'm guessing we see Carmella cash in here. I think we'll have maybe Natalya weaken Naomi, but Naomi still kind of comes out on top. But then Carmella is going to come in, cash in, and take the title off of Naomi. It's kind of my prediction. I feel like cashing in both briefcases in the same week is a bit of a waste from a storytelling perspective, but this seems to be what WWE is kind of building towards, has been Carmella cashing in here. So, yeah, that's my prediction. Naomi retains over Natalya, but then loses her title to Carmella via Money in the Bank cash-in. Up next, the New Day versus the Usos for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The New Day versus the Usos was easily the best match of Battleground. I think the only good match of Battleground, probably. So I think we'll get another good bout from here. And I feel like the clean victory over the New Day by the Usos pretty much guaranteed that the New Day are going to retain their championships here this weekend. So my prediction is the New Day retains their WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships, or however they do it. Then I have the AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens U.S. Championship match with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. This could be match of the night potential. Finally getting kind of maybe the blow-off end of the feud match between Styles and Kevin Owens. I think that's kind of what the last few things have been building up to, so maybe they kind of put everything out here. And ultimately, I think it could go either way, but I think we'll have Styles retain here, and Owen will find some kind of new gimmick aside from the new Face of America shtick, and then, yeah, they'll probably go their separate ways after this one. So my prediction there, AJ Styles retains the U.S. Championship. Then finally, we have Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. And as I said earlier, a week ago, I probably would have predicted Nakamura winning, but then Corbin cashing in immediately on Nakamura and Corbin leaving SummerSlam as the champion. But that's not happening anymore. So from a business sense, I really don't see any reason to take the belt off Jinder here. I feel like if you're still trying to cash in on that Indian market, putting the belt on Nakamura doesn't do you any good. I don't think Jinder's anything special, and I feel like this feud in particular has kind of shown the how easily it is to tear apart the seams of the whole "you don't like me because I'm different from you" gimmick, because the guy they're cheering is just as different, in theory, here with Nakamura. But Nakamura suffers on the mic thanks to the language barrier. So I just feel like they're going to get this gimmick out of the way, get this match out of the way, so they can get back to that gimmick of Jinder, is the heel because nobody likes him or whatever. Maybe you have a super dominant heel Corbin leaving this and saying, screw you guys, I don't need the briefcase to be the number one contender. I'm going to get that title. So maybe that's where we go from here. So ultimately, yeah, I think putting the belt on Nakamura just doesn't make any sense, because then you've got a champion who suffers from the language barrier on the mic, and you have to find something for the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal to do. So, yeah, my ultimate prediction here, Jinder retains, probably with some help from the Singh brothers, because what else are they going to do? So those are my predictions for the SummerSlam card as laid out here at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night before the matches. So who knows if a few things get added to the card. Like I said at the top, we don't have the Hardys on here. We don't have anything going on with the Intercontinental Championship going on here. The Hardys, I think, got screwed because they were going to face the Revival, but then yet another injury hit the Revival, so that sucks for them. So maybe we'll get like another Hardys and Jason Jordan versus Miz and the Miztourage in the pre-show, in the kickoff show for SummerSlam, but there's already, 12 matches on the card here? I don't remember how many things I've gone through. So it's already going to be a long night, so I don't know if they'll really add anything else into it, or if they'll just kind of give these guys the night off. So those are my predictions for SummerSlam, which means I will probably owe Unsexiest Comedy Cameron Abbott yet another order of Portillo's, because he seems to just always beat me on these, and I seem to really have no idea what I'm talking about when I make these prediction videos. Let me know what your predictions for SummerSlam are in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter, or read the full kind of rundown of these predictions over at TrevorTrove.com in the link in the description below. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.